We don't, but one thing, we don't take 10% until they take it to the market. Yeah, no, we don't. They don't pay us a penny. But once they have a company, and then they make profit, then we'll take 10%.
It's a royalty. It's a royalty.
Yeah, royalty, exactly. Now, Dr. Amr, patent as a tradable asset. What does it mean? And also, how to commercialize an invention or a patent.
So basically, a patent is, as Jinan was saying, it's a part of intellectual property. There are other types like trademarks, copyrights, and all of that. But if we think about it,
It's like a barter system?
Yeah, like, so IP is a creation of mine. But when you file a patent application to protect it, now you have a legal asset. Now you change it to a legal asset. So you can sell it, you can own it, you can buy one, you can trade it, license it, do whatever it's an asset. And that's really comes to what's called in business property concept. In the 80s, the property concept was that big companies like IBM, Procter & Gamble, ExxonMobil have how many buildings, how machines, products, tangible or physical assets. Now it's completely changed the property concept. It's how intangible assets that you have, intellectual property. And it changed it from 17% to over 90% right now. That's why we have Microsoft, we have Apple, Facebook, Amazon are really the big gangs now in business, right? So this property concept changed it. And why it's tradable? Because you can make a lot of money out of it. America Online, when they sold their patent portfolio to Microsoft, they sold it for $1 billion. Nortel sold to Sony Group their patent portfolio for $4.5 billion. So it's a lot of money. That's why it's a tradable asset.
Will it come one day? It'll be tradable in the bourse market and all these?
Actually, right now there is actually a weird thing. There is a patent application that somebody wanted to have a patent exchange, where they have patents as stocks that the prices can goes up and down.
The patent life is
20
it's
years.
not 20 years. Not,
Yeah,
not,
whenever when it's active.
Yeah.
When
No,
it's
but
active.
you need it now, so you need to take
Yes.
it.
20 years.
Yes.
The chemicals, I think, is 10 years.
The drugs. Yeah, plants. Oh, yeah.
The drugs are 10 years.
10 years, yes.
But we have to look at this commercialization thing in the big contest. And the big contest is really the life cycle of innovation. Like when you have an idea and a concept and you want to protect it, you spend money to do due experimentation, for validation, for proof of concept, for filing costs, for all of this. And you invest a lot of money here. Then to get the return from this money, you actually need to commercialize it. And that's what I think we need. We need to get the education and the culture of having startups around our patents and patent application. The goal is not to have a patent, but the goal is to have a startup or to license or to sell and all of that. Once you unlock your value from your invention, now you go back and do R&D and you do more research because you have the money for it. And the cycle keeps going on and off. So patent system, as Dr. Muhammad was saying, is really giving you this healthy ecosystem to develop this commercialization with confidence. You will not have this confidence if you are not protected.
Excellent.
So the protecting is very important. And the market also is so both of them should be.
Exactly.
Dr. Jinan, first, what kind of protection is granted by these IP rights? Second, what are the requirements that the invention should fulfill to be patented? I think it's a very famous example I'll give you. In 1876, Alexander Graham Bell filed a patent for the telephone. And he was from a city, and there was another guy from another city. He also went to file a patent, and his name is Elisha Gray. And the good thing about that, Alexander Graham Bell filed 2 hours before him. Once he came after 2 hours, it was gone already. So file your patents as quick as possible. Somebody else could have the same. 2 different cities, completely different, but they had the same idea. So it's very important to actually patent. And regarding the Silicon Valley, if you look at it carefully, Europe tried to copy United States starting from beginning, from KG and so on. But one thing that was strong was Silicon Valley. There was, after Silicon Valley, the Silicon Forest was in Oregon. It failed. Silicon Desert in Arizona, it failed. Why didn't this fail and become the strongest silicon in the world? Is that there's no leader, there's no CEO. It's an organic growth. So every requirement of being successful, you have it there. Legally, market, universities, research, everything is there. It organically grows. So that's the only one. We started in the way it didn't also succeed. At the end, I think we need to look at all these to take care of it. If you're doing an invention, it should add value correctly. So I think we have a last round to go with Dr. Muhammad. How to incentivize our faculty and students to protect their inventions and commercialize them. I think this is very important because first we need to teach them how to file for it.
Exactly. That's why we have the IP and technology transfer offices in most of our universities, and also like UAE Association, UAE Invention Association, and so on. All these entities will help in the spread out the awareness about the IP and IP procedures to protect the inventions, etc. But as I just said earlier about the 2 things, the mindset of our faculty and student, how to be an entrepreneur, how to be innovative, how to think of having their own business based on what they have achieved from their academic and research activities. And the other thing is that to enable them from the legal point and also the laws and policies, especially the law of labor, to allow like a government faculty or a faculty member work in a governmental university to do his business. And we see now the changes happening recently in the visa system, the golden visa, entrepreneurship visa, that will allow them to open their new business. This is very new and very excellent achievement in the UAE law, because now they will be able to open their company and startup. In the past, the only way is to commercialize is just to depends on the IP office in the university to commercialize or to find a licensee and sign license agreement. So the number of startup was very low. We have very rare cases in our university. Now it will grow, and as we see, like in UAE University, Sharjah University, now they have the Science Park, and also UAE has launched their Science Park. Now Zayed University and HCT as well, they will convert into a free zone, not more than just a conventional university. So all of these movement and advancement will really help to increase and boost our number of invention generated and number of startup launched.
Yes.
Yeah, this is also the last year law, and now the amendments was also launched maybe in this year to minimize and cut off the fees of the filing, because it was one of the highest worldwide, and that was really.
Aramid Rahmat Majan, what do you think? What is the benefit of invention? That's number one. Number 2, What are your plans, future plans for this association to grow?
But we have to, all the ideas, what we, our criminal labor, being translated here, there, to be done. This is my goal. Be it in UK, everything should be done. That is my goal. But that is, it's difficult, but we are going. I am happy that I have 370 members.
MashaAllah.
This is we have to take care, especially the new generation, schools. So we are starting, really we have a lot of programs, and I hope we will succeed. And I am sure next 6 months, we have already working R&D in two inventions, significantly from person who was from, I think the story about it, he's from Toronto. He came here and he said, UAE is the creation of Harvard. I told him, I cannot keep you in my association. You should be residents. He will please you and he make a license, trade license. And he will be residents of UAE and he is a member. Now he brought his invention and we are taking his idea, his patent already. Yeah, but he want fund, he want some to manufacture that. So that was one of the challenges I had and we did it. Inshallah, 2 months, 3 months, we did it. It's something good for them, not only for the UAE, for the people also.
And you'll be successful, inshallah, because you have the love for this, and you want to return to the society what they gave you, and I think your loyalty to the country is very important, and that's why I think you will be successful,
Our
inshallah.
leader is the government. The government is supporting us. That's the most important. So we are working after behind what they are saying. So I think we are going in the right direction.
Now, maybe last words, Dr. Amr, you want to say about inventions, about...
So I think all what we were saying here, that it's just a take-home message that don't make the patent is your goal. A patent is really a vehicle or a tool that you can use to develop a startup company or to have some assets for yourself. So a patent or having a patent is just the first step, and you will, inshallah, fly from there.
So your goal shouldn't be the patent.
No, it's a
No.
tool.
That's the initial goal only.
Yes.
Yes. And Dr. Rania? I have a question, but I want to give. I have many other questions, but your last word. You see, innovation plays a big role and invention in the development of countries. One of the things that we lack, again, in the Arab world is venture capitalists. You know, we look at an investment and we want a very quick return of investment. If you are looking for a long run, you shouldn't look for that. That's a part of the society. You should build a building and get the revenue out of it easily after you finish. But in patents and inventions and entrepreneurship, when you work on these things, it's a long run. It takes time until you succeed. And the VCs should know that, should accept that also 10% will be successful. That VC in Silicon Valley, in 1975, they had more than 100 VCs in that valley, 1975. And they had all the requirements to be successful. We are starting in UAE to have VCs. Plus, there are also funders like Sanduq al-Watan, which is national, what do you call it? Sanduq al-Watan, they call it. Plus, as we said, Muhammad Rashid SME program. and others are also joining. But still, the VC, which is venture capital, culture is not here. We need to make sure that all of those who were successful in Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, all of them started from one of the incubation centers, and they were VCs that were doing it. A venture capitalist is an expert that understands the product and understands when it will be successful and will provide. And not ask you that I want a revenue after a profit after 1 year. It will not happen. So the VC culture is important, which will help Ahmed Majjan to make his inventions a success other than a success. If these are not there, investment from the government is good, but they are always initiators. In Silicon Valley, the military bought unproven product. Why? Just to encourage that part of the United States to become successful. So the government puts rules, regulations, and initiates a drive. But who takes over? The investors, the angel investors, the VCs, all of these have to come. Once we have that system available, this will get rid of the weak link. We have a weak link somewhere, which is VCs. Once we get them together, the whole process of system is successful. So inventions are a part of life of a human being. You need to look at it, take advantage of it, and make it a success. You need to work hard to make that. You need to look for those who will help you to do it. Sometimes you need help for making it as a product. Like you go to the association, you go to universities, University of Sharjah, for example. So all these, you need to go towards it. But also, you need to find the investor. It's not that you're saying, nobody's investing. Go, look for it. You will find it. Once you take all that, which is the value chain of starting from an idea and become a product that's commercialized, all these steps you need to understand it. Once you understand it, you will be successful. And I thank all the speakers, Dr. Muhammad, Engineer Ahmed, Dr. Amr, and Dr. Ajnan, to be a part of this excellent discussion. Even though we have a short time, I needed to have more time for them. I know they have still things to say, but thank you all very much, and thank you for listening. Yes, I need to recognize you, please. So please come in, Dr. Ajnan, please. I think we actually learned a lot from today. We are always students. I'm a faculty member, I'm a professor, but every day I'm learning because I will be a student until the last day of mine. So everybody should learn, and we learned a lot, and especially me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Muhammad Al-Himari. I know the whole family. I have taught his sister, I have taught his brother or himself, and also his father, a good friend of mine. An excellent family, mashallah. Shukran. Muhandis Ahmed Majjan, you are an asset to the country.
Thank you very much. And I think we have a lot of inventors, and I hope I will get 10 of memberships in our association. Most will come. If they are a student, free of charge. If they are not student, there is little bit money. It's only maybe 200. I think. You will be a member, and we are going to support all the inventors, because the inventor, everybody is inventor. He have to think, and we'll support him.
Yeah.
Thank you very
A
much.
commercial break.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Amr, thank you very much again. And I think you have the services in the company, right?
Yes.
These services.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Legally is very important. That's why he is here. You have to look at it legally also. Thank you all very much.
you.